thank you, John, for coming down from Richmond. First, let's start out. Tell me what Continuum for Care is all about.
Sure. So in the Richmond region, there is a continuum of care that is a coordinated system to support homeless service delivery, so that it's working across all of the shelter services, supported housing,
Okay.
to provide a full set of or array of services to various people who are experiencing homelessness or trying to transition into permanent housing. And so it is probably it's several agencies that work together under a lead organization called Homeward, and Homeward coordinates all of the efforts of the continuum.
Okay. So can you tell me some of the agencies that are under this
Sure,
umbrella?
sure. So the agencies that I've gotten a chance to know here rather quickly at this time, Caritas is one that is well known in our region. Salvation Army that runs shelter programs, supported housing or Virginia Supportive Housing, Families First Housing, and then Commonwealth Catholic Charities is involved. St. Joseph's Villa does rapid rehousing. So all of them are doing different levels of housing and supportive housing for individuals.
Okay, great. And so I understand you're starting, or you're shoring up, or you're starting some shelters for this COVID
Yeah, so
days we're living in.
right. So in response to COVID-19, it's anticipated that as many as 70% of individuals who experience homelessness are going to contract coronavirus because of their array of conditions that they're living in. So the Continuum has been working over the last couple of weeks to figure out sort of a triaged approach to support the most vulnerable populations, as well as respond to the number of additional people who are becoming homeless in this process. So tomorrow we will be bringing online what we're calling a higher risk shelter through Salvation Army. So it's going to be the Salvation Army R Street Center, which is going to take individuals who are 60 or older and may have some sort of pre-existing health condition that makes them, whether it's a lung condition, heart condition, cancer, HIV, something that would place them at greater risk if they were to become infected.
Sure.
And we're going to be able to set up a separate center for them, which means recruiting volunteers, coming up with medical equipment, preventative care equipment, to a facility, cots, all having to come online in less than 10 days. So the work and your support here is critical to helping us make that happen tomorrow.
Yeah, so it sounds like you, like everybody, are in short supply of personal protective equipment for the practitioners.
Yes.
And so myself, like, it's kind of started as individuals. 757 Cares came about as a bunch of different folks like me that like to tinker around with making stuff. I do a lot of 3D printing myself and my son. Kind of came across this, like, what can we do to help out? Well, what skills do we have that we could possibly do something with? And immediately you could, just a quick Google search, you realize, oh, well, this protective care crisis, shortage is being exacerbated and escalating every day. So like, well, we could probably come up with some ways to do it. And so just looking around the internet, there were people that are already designing products. They just need manufacturing capacity and raw materials to do it. And so we gathered some designs. We kind of modified them ourselves to help the production speed up, make it a little simpler, a little less material, so less costly, that kind of stuff, so we could kind of ramp up and produce a lot of PPE in a short period of time. And so the two products I have for you today include, and I'm just going to demonstrate these. The first one has to do with these N95 masks that we all know about, unfortunately. The really cheap ones are like this, that just have a little elastic band that goes over the ear. And the problem with these, actually two problems. One is it's a one-size-fits-none kind of design that way. It doesn't have like a backstrap that you can adjust. So either they fit too loose, which means particulates can get behind the mask, and that's worthless at that point, or it fits too tight and it causes skin abrasions on the nose and the cheeks and even behind the ears.
Okay.
So what we found and modified were these little straps that you can clip onto these over-the-ear style masks, and it goes in the back. Let's see if I can do this real quickly. And now it's adjustable to the size of the wearer, and they can adjust it throughout the long shift, and it, it's going to be more comfortable and it's going to be suited. And it's made out of a rubberized PLA, so you can just clean it in a mild bleach water solution and reuse this over and over again. And that's pretty strong. I don't think you'll break any of those. So I've got a small assortment of those for you. And then the other one, of course, the CDC says, well, you can't just use a mask. You've got to cover all your mucous membrane areas on your face when you're in contact with someone that might be exposed, including your nose and your eyes. So they recommend full face shields, which of course is another item that is completely out of stock right now. So we've been fabricating these kind of makeshift shields out of some 3D printed pieces that we modified existing designs and made, and then we sourced the rest of the materials. This is just a transparency film from a office supply store.
Okay.
We got the strapping material was donated from Joanne Fabric Tray, and then this is just window insulation foam from Lowe's, and you just put it over your face, and there you go. You've got the whole face protection in conjunction, of course, with your mask.
Yeah.
And now you've got everything the CDC recommends for the practitioners to wear while they're working on these folks.
Very neat.
So we've got a bunch of people that are printing from home. We've got Old Dominion University's, let me get this right, Virginia Modeling and Simulation Center. They have a lot of 3D printers. They're off printing a bunch of these for us as well. We're working with people like Lowe's to source, to donate some of those foam pads to help prevent skin abrasions on the forehead. Other people are donating funds for us to buy these acetate covers from office supply stores and Amazon and whatnot. And so we're just ramping up production as fast as we can.
Sure.
We're just really kind of get started, and we're just going to keep producing these as long as the need is there.
Sure.
So thank you for coming down from Richmond. For you today to take back with you, you can see we spared no expense on the packaging. But so we have these packs. So in each bag we have 10 masks. There's shields in here. You kind of do it yourself.
Yep.
With little foam straps in there. There's a guide in there that talks about how to assemble it, and it even includes, we have a YouTube video. So if you're a YouTuber instead of that, we've got a YouTube video on how to assemble and how to care for these.
Great.
All right.
Great.
And I got that. And then I got some extra foam in here for you, because that's kind of a throwaway item at the end of the shift. So you just cut little 4-inch pieces of that on the next shift after you've sterilized that, and for the next user or your next shift. And then I've got a bag of those mask extenders, those mask straps for you. So
all
here
right.
you go. It's your first.
Thank you.
It's your first delivery. I know Richmond's a little while away, but we know lots of people that go back and forth to Richmond. So as we get more stockpiles, we'll find somebody to mule them up to you.
All right.
Hopefully, we won't have to spend our donation dollars on postage, but if we have to, we will.
Sure. Sure.
So we're working with, we've got another delivery today to EVMS Fetal Care Center.
Okay.
They have no PPE right now, and a lot of other places that have come to us. So the more the word gets out, the requests are certainly outstripping the supply right now. So anybody who's watching now, for me, if you're a 3D printer owner or know somebody that does or have one at work, hey, we need more people to print these things, because it takes a while to print each one of these. If you have funds available, you don't know what you're going to do with your $1,200 from the government coming in a few weeks, we'd love donations to help us source the rest of these materials. And then of course, John, how can people get a hold of your organization to, if they identify someone that can use your services? Sure.
So the best recommendation I would make, because again, I support Homeward. But Homeward is a great nonprofit organization that coordinates all of this effort. So as we're bringing these shelters online, bringing these additional resources online, that is the place, that organization by which we will use resources to help fund additional staff, purchase supplies, purchase meals. There's a lot to go on there. The other option is also we are going to be highly dependent upon volunteers to support meal delivery, meal providing at the shelter site. So connectva.org. There is a volunteer program called Hands on Greater Richmond. It is you just click, it will have a sort of sponsor for each volunteer opportunity. That should be going live later today or early tomorrow, and we'll be looking for a significant number of volunteers at meal times, etc. So if folks are interested in helping out there, we'd certainly appreciate it. And on behalf of those organizations, I would just say thank you. They truly do amazing work, and if I thought that less than 2 weeks ago when they called me and said, hey, we need to bring these resources online, that we would be opening one tomorrow, I would have never believed it possible, but it's thanks to folks like you who have stepped up and brought lots of resources to the table to help make it happen. Tomorrow we'll open beds for as many as 75 individuals to have a safe place to be and stay safe from this virus. So thank you for your help.
Oh, you're more than welcome. We're just doing our own little part just so folks like you can do all the hero work. So I really appreciate it. I'm going to push this up on YouTube, so I'll get all those links from you, and they'll be in the comments along with how to connect with us at 757 Cares, the makers that are doing all this work on our side.
Perfect.
Sound good?
Thanks so much.
All right. Have a good trip back. Take care. Bye.